These are the Daily Tech headlines for Monday, July 1st, 2024. I'm Sarah Lane. Reuters sources say that Nvidia is set to be charged by French antitrust regulators for alleged anti-competitive practices. The statement of objections, or charge sheet, is another step following raids in the graphics card sector back in September of last year, believed to target Nvidia specifically. At issue is whether Nvidia has used artificial intelligence, or AI, for computer graphics in a way that increased demand for its chips. Any company risks fines of as much as 10% of their global annual turnover for breaching French antitrust rules, although they can also provide concessions to avoid penalties. Meta was charged by the European Commission on Monday for failing to comply with landmark tech rules that take issue with Meta's pay or consent advertising model it introduced for Facebook and Instagram in November, where users could consent to be tracked and have a free service or pay for an ad-free service. The EC says this breaches the Digital Markets Act, or DMA. In response, Meta issued a statement that said, quote, "Subscription with no ads follows the direction of the highest court in Europe and complies with the DMA. We look forward to further constructive dialogue with the European Commission to bring this investigation to a close." End quote. Korean website Alec reports a shift in Apple's supply chain management for OLED on silicon panels. That's a key component in Apple's Vision Pro headset. Sony provides these high-resolution microdisplays at the moment, but reportedly, Sony's limited capacity of up to 900,000 panels per year and issues with expansion has Apple looking at alternatives. Apple has apparently issued a request for information, or RFI, to both Samsung Display and LG Display, indicating the displays would be larger than those currently used in the Vision Pro, but also featuring a lower resolution. A little more Apple news today. Bloomberg's Mark Gurman writes in his latest Power On newsletter that while the recently announced Apple Intelligence will be free to start, something like Apple Intelligence Plus would have extra features that users would pay monthly fees to access. This would potentially let Apple receive a cut of revenue whenever a user signs up to features offered by its AI partners, such as OpenAI's ChatGPT. Gurman thinks Apple will agree to a deal with Google and Anthropic to offer their AI services through Apple devices as well. Okay, one more Apple story. Apple analyst Ming-Chi Kuo reports that Apple is looking to start mass production of new Airpods with camera modules by 2026. This follows a February report from Bloomberg that Apple plans to develop Airpods with cameras. The new Airpods would reportedly feature an infrared camera, like what's used for Face ID on iPhones and iPads, with the goal for the camera-equipped Airpods to integrate with Vision Pro and future Apple Vision headsets. Monday, the U.S. Supreme Court ordered two lower courts to take another pass at two laws from Florida and Texas that impose restrictions on how social media companies can moderate the content posted on their platforms. This keeps the laws blocked during the additional proceedings. The Supreme Court said neither lower court conducted the proper analysis of the First Amendment challenges to the laws regulating major social media platforms. And finally, Wired reports that Amazon Web Services is looking into whether search engine Perplexity AI is breaking its terms. Wired previously reported that a web crawler hosted on AWS was not respecting a setting in Wired's robots.txt file that prohibited crawling the site to train generative models. Wired thinks the crawler came from an IP address controlled by Perplexity. Perplexity told Wired it has responded to AWS requests and that its Perplexity bot respects robot.txt instructions. Perplexity's CEO previously told Fast Company that it does use data from third parties that may not respect robots.txt. For more discussion of the tech news of the day, subscribe to dailytechnewsshow.com. That's where you can find show notes and links to all of these headlines there as well. I'm Sarah Lane. Thank you for listening, and we'll talk to you next time.